We're now live. Hey, this is Marby Lee with RE/MAX, and I have Jayson Stebbins from Guild Mortgage here. And I know everybody's been hearing a lot about mortgage rates, what's going on with them, what's forecast, what we see coming. And he's the guy who knows it all. So I thought I'd bring him in so he could tell you straight from the mortgage broker's mouth and let you know what's going on.
Well, thanks, Marby.
Sure.
Thanks. And for all of you out there who know what Marby does, this is her company. This is her as a realtor. So make sure you give her a call for all your real estate needs. We have this interesting time now that we're about 6 weeks into the year where all of the projections are starting to kind of match up with what's happening. So let's talk about it in a couple chunks. First, let's talk about rates. As everyone probably knows, if you're at all connected with the news, mortgage rates have increased pretty significantly. However, I want to make sure everyone knows they're still better than they were pre-pandemic. So while the government subsidized these low mortgage rates and kept them kind of artificially suppressed for the last couple of years, we're now getting back to kind of a normal market and still really historically terrific time to get 30-year fixed rate financing. And when you compare where mortgage rates are compared to the inflation rate, we're in a really good spot. So interest rates now are moving their way up closer to the mid threes, even into the high threes. So if you have been on the fence about a refinance, or if you have been on the fence about purchasing, your buying power is going to change. So make sure you stay connected with your mortgage professional and get your pre-approvals updated with the current rate space. The other thing that's happening is the mortgage availability is high. What I mean by that is that whenever you have a crisis, so post-mortgage meltdown in 08, 09, post-pandemic, especially the first 6 months of the pandemic, there was a lot of reactionary measures put into place. Those have all kind of seasoned out. So the industry is back to an availability index that's very high. It's easier to get a mortgage now than it was in the early times of the pandemic or the early times of the meltdown. So, and I hear a lot of people talk about, it's still a 20% down world. It's really not. I mean, there's a lot, especially if you're focused on Santa Clara County or the Silicon Valley, our new loan limits are so high that you can be shopping in that $1 million range with just 5% down. And that does make it real possible. Yeah. So the last thing that's kind of interesting, and this speaks more to your area of expertise than mine, which is the inventory space. So we know that there's just so little, but traditionally we're entering the spring season, which means inventory should raise. The other thing is that this is probably a situation that we're going to be facing for at least another year, maybe more, because as a country, we're low on housing. Right. In the Bay Area, the builders aren't going to be able to build them fast enough because the labor issues and so forth. So just remember that if you are looking to buy, projecting out to say, I think things are going to mellow out, probably not the best approach, because we definitely will see an increase in values over the course of the next year and a half just due to lack of inventory.
When we're seeing that.
Yeah.
We are seeing craziness and what things are selling at.
Yeah. Demand is high, supply is low, until that equalizes the continued improvement. So we're not going to see probably a crash. We will maybe see a correction, but it's years away, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So the key is if you've been already pre-approved or have a loan ready to go, if you find that place, Jayson's saying go get that checked out because things have been changing over the past couple of months. Inventory has been low. I know we've seen in Morgan Hill over the past week or so, probably 8 or so new properties come on. So that's an encouraging sign because we weren't seeing that for the first month or so. So things seem to be getting better with inventory. Usually, traditionally, they get better around Super Bowl weekend, but we'll see. It's starting to look that way. But Jayson, thank you so much for talking to the group.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can have you back, another time in the near future and let people know what's going on. But
you got it.
I appreciate it
Anytime.
so much.
You bet.
Thanks, you guys.
See ya.
Bye.